Guten Morgen. Elliot got it. Okay, nice. Yeah, hi, I'm Dave, and I really like simple add-ons. And I wanted to share some experience, and also kind of wanted to ask, like, who here has created or designed a simple add-on? Okay, that's a lot. Okay, who got it right the first time? The add-on, the connector. Okay, very good. So hopefully this helps some people. um, yeah, I. I found the HD version and made a nice copy of this image, but yeah, it's not really that easy to make a simple add-on. And for this lightning talk, I wanted to make sure that I can demonstrate how I see it, how I make sense of the add-on, because all the documentation that I saw, it confused me myself, and I made like 10 to 15 simple add-ons by now. So whenever I start and look at it, I'm like confused. Okay, but this should be helpful. This is the left side is the front, so when you look at the connector, it has to look like this with the connections, and this is the back side. Like when you turn it around, this is what it should look like. So standards are hard. The Supercon add-on standard, I checked all the badges that Supercon that Hackaday has brought out before, or basically like when Brian Benchoff brought up the first version, it was like on an angle on 40 degrees, 45 degrees in the documentation, but then it wasn't on all the badges. And then when for me, the real simple add-on standard with the 6 pins came out. This is basically what you had, what you wanted to see on a badge. But then 2019, the FPGA badge came out by SpriteTM, and he was basically mixing up SDA and SCL, and also IO2 and IO1. And there's also some more pins that he added to the standard, and he called it Extreme. Then there was the 2022 badge that had battery instead of the 3 volts of the badge. And it was RX and TX, so nothing with I2C worked. But it's also a 4-bit computer, so it kind of makes more sense there. And then there was the VectorScope badge last year, which also had the battery power connected to it. So when you wanted to communicate with something via I2C, you had a problem because there was different voltages. You had the batteries that were maybe like a bit lower, and then there's like the Raspberry Pi that has a very nice buck boost converter that turns it into 3 volts again. So there's a mismatch, which is not good. Okay, so if you want to start with simple add-ons, there's like so many ways, and I collected some over this weekend, and sometimes they look very complicated. I have one that has like touch capability and a display, but you can also basically start with the PCB art and just make it look nice. Don't add any LEDs, don't use the power at all, just make it pretty. And like one example is the Saub. I hope I said that right, but yeah, there's some more links. And someone else that I want to share is Deshipo, who's also in the community of Hackaday. He made one once where he used the After Dark with copper and gold and stuff from Osh Park, which is very nice. I called them classes, but please, if you ever publish a simple add-on, don't add the class stuff. That's just for me to make sense of how to categorize them, basically, to give some ideas. You can make I2C adapters. So there's many things that have I2C integrated already, like the nunchucks. There's 1 or 2 simple add-ons now that connect to nunchucks. But there's like also Grove connectors, which allows you to add lots of sensors. The Quick standard, which Adafruit is using a lot. And also apparently HDMI has some I2C. I'm not really sure if that makes sense, but I want to see this at one point. The next step for me is like using the power for something. There's lots of LEDs that have like their own modes, basically. They can blink. There's RGB faders that are slow and fast. And there's some that flicker like a candle, which is pretty cool. But then you can also use something like a 5x5 timer to make an LED blink, or add some other components like a 4017, and then you have like 10 LEDs that are blinking. You can add them randomly, stuff like this. Then there's the next step where there's like, you found a nice sensor and it has I2C already, which is awesome. So you can make a breakout board for it and just use the simple add-on connector. There's so many things like potentiometers, signal generators. I saw there's a lightning sensor, which is kind of expensive, but also why not? Yeah. Then it gets more complicated. Maybe you have found a sensor that only speaks SPI, or yeah. So you want to have something in between that translates the data to I2C, and so that your badge can talk to it, which is a bit convoluted. But yeah, it's a nice step to get that working. And finally, there's like badges that are so complex that they could have been a badge in themselves. And this multimeter is so awesome. So I was like, when I saw this, I was basically doing the Bateman. I was like, yeah. So even though I have my little TARS touch thing, I was like, I want that. And I got the PCB. So that's a nice thing about the whole simple add-on scene. People share it. Some people just hand out PCBs like I did. Yeah, and it's relatively easy to start these days. You find a nice image. Maybe you just use a posterization effect in GIMP, and then you convert it in Inkscape, and then you can import this into KiCad, and that's basically how I got the Han Solo onto my Solo and Carbonite simple add-ons. I still feel like there's UV solder mask stuff is cheating, but you can get very colorful, nice-looking badges. So that's also an option. Right, so wonderful gifts, and I hope it sparks the joy, and some people think like, hey, I want to do this next year to give back to the community. I also created a list on hackaday.io. So you basically can look at, I think, 100 simple add-ons now. And am I already? No, okay. Yeah, so I also made a little add-on for simple add-ons. So if you like badges on your badges, I have badges on badges on badges. And it's a standard now because somebody else put this header on their simple add-on. So I think, yeah, that's established, which is nice. And it's so much easier not to confuse. Right, and this is basically the PDF that I just showed to you. So if you want to look at all these simple add-on images again, you can do so. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Let's swap the mics. Swap mics?